Good morning, Mark Shepard, Cowabunga.com, and today I'm thinking a lot about why people who say they want to change, people who say they want to improve their lives, don't. Why is it that people want to change? They want help, they want this, they want that, but for some reason they'll only go so far. And I've been pondering this because I was working with, I think, 4 or 5 different weight loss people at the same time. And as far as I could see, they were all making progress. And almost as a group, they all quit. They just quit. And they wouldn't tell me what was going on. And I think the reality, and this has happened a lot with weight loss clients over the years, and I was reading this morning in a book about how Milton Erickson, back in the 50s, was frustrated with the fact that his clients would often relapse. They would be making progress, and then they would kind of go back. They would kind of go back to the way they were, and they would blame him. They would basically go, well, that guy didn't help me, right? And so what he started doing was he started basically assigning them to have a relapse. He would go, okay, you're doing really well. Now, next week, I want you to eat just junk food. I want you to eat 3 meals a day from a Doritos bag, from a Cheetos bag. I want you to stuff your face. I want you to go to every fast food restaurant. I want you to eat ice cream every day. I want you to just gorge yourself for the next week. And what they would do, his clients would actually defy him and stay on the protocol. And I think that's the piece that perhaps I was missing, because I've been really searching out why is it that we human beings, we have this amazing tool set between our ears. We can change, we can adapt, we can grow, we can improve our lives, but it's like most of us don't. Why is that? Why is it that most of us don't? We start and then we quit. We talk about starting, but we never start. We blame it. We want to look for something outside us that's going to fix us, because we're blaming outside experiences for our problems, when ultimately it's all an inside job. Unfortunately, that's not a popular sales pitch. Hi, I can help you, but it's going to be long and painful, and you're going to hate me by the end of it, and you're going to have a lot of failure, and you're just going to be miserable for a lot of the time, until someday you eventually understand that you are creating your reality. You know, it's not exactly the sales pitch that most people want to sign up for. So I just, over breakfast today, if you're watching any of these videos, you know that I spend some time every day, even if it's only a minute. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's a full hour. I spend some time every day starting my day with a reflection, because I don't always know what I need to do that day, because there's so many things that I could do that I used to get overwhelmed. So now I sit and I quietly let whatever comes in to come in, and then I share that with you. And here's what came in today. Why you won't change even though you say you want to. 1, and by the way, this is directed at me as well, because we're human, we're all human, we all do this. You know, I would say probably the peak performer, the most world champion athlete still does this, at least in some area of their life. I would suggest that the most high-level executive does that in some area of their life. I would say that even the most successful actor or musician or politician or statesperson or diplomat or business person still does this in some area of their life. So it really is a universal, I think. So number 1, you are not willing to obsessively and compulsively practice the new mindset that will get you where you want to go. You are not willing to flood your mind and your neurology with those why and how questions that replace the toxic self-talk. I mean, that's one. It is so simple, people. I'm not saying it's easy. But if you keep thinking the way you've been thinking, you're going to keep getting what you got, right? Every motivational speaker in the world says that, until they're blue in the face. Number 2, once you start out to change the way you have been working in the world, you give up too soon. You run into some little setback or some big setback, and you go, oh, there you go. Can't do it. Every time I try to change, I can't change. Been there and done that, but that's the trap. That is the trap. You give up too soon. Cut that shit out, right? Keep at it. I mean, I'm getting to the place in my life where I know if I hit resistance, if I hit a failure, if I hit a massive setback, I'm like, cool. Because I know I'm getting closer. I was doing a business last year, and it was going along pretty well, and then there were a couple massive setbacks. And it seemed like everywhere I turned, there was something I was either not doing right, something I hadn't understood, something I hadn't seen, something I hadn't perceived, and then some stuff kind of came out of the blue that I didn't seem to have anything to do with that, threatened to stop me. And yeah, for about 15 minutes I was discouraged. And I was like, well, you know what? That is the way the learning curve goes. If I was going to college, I would expect some courses to be hard, right? If everything was easy in college, you're like, yeah, I'm not getting my money's worth. This stuff is too easy, right? You have to realize that some stuff is hard, right? And it's hard for a reason. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and there would be no growth. There would be no learning. Number 3, and by the way, these are not in any special order. This is just what came to me this morning. Number 3, you poison your efforts with self-doubt and recrimination, which is really toxic, poison, negative thoughts. And we all do this. You start to doubt yourself. The minute you start doubting yourself, then you're going to look outside for someone to blame, right? Because it's easier to blame someone outside yourself than yourself. And this is not about blaming the victim. This is about owning your stuff and going, okay, if it's not working, then I have to look in the mirror. What thoughts am I thinking? What didn't I pay attention to? What am I resisting learning that I need to learn? What do I need to open my mind to? 4, again, not in any special order, you want to have it easy. I kind of alluded this to before. The reason you fail, and of course there's no failure, there's only feedback. The reason you think you fail is because essentially you want it done for you. You want it easy. You want the shortcut. And I'm totally in favor of finding tools and techniques to make it easier. I mean, it's easier to use a hammer than a rock to drive a nail, right? The hammer's way better. It's even easier to use a nail gun, right? But either way, you still have to know what it is you're building, right? You may have tools that make it easier, but you still have to have knowledge. You still have to have experience. You still have to have know-how. And you still have to take action and apply it. So, yeah, it can be easier. And right now in our world, life is easier than it's ever been on this planet. And you're still sitting there whining. Life is easier today than it has ever been in the history of human endeavor. And yet you are still sitting on the couch complaining, right? Louis C.K. had a little bit that he did where he's sitting on an airplane and, someone's using the internet on his computer on the airplane. And at one point, I guess the plane flew over a dead spot and there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. And the guy's like, lousy internet. It's like, life is awesome and all we do is complain. That is the human mindset, people. That is your ego. That is the toxic, what the Toltecs call the parasite. That is what's feeding off of you, right? Stop. Sometimes I just get so pissed off because you could be amazing if you'd only get out of your own freaking way, right? But you want it to be easy. And if it's not easy, you're not willing to get up off the couch and do it. Sorry. That's the cowabunga truth. You want cowabunga, You got to live cowabunga. Number 5, you are living in a fantasy where thoughts of change don't include the time it actually takes to build new skills and install them in your unconscious mind. I mean, why do they say it takes 28 days to install a new habit? Is because when the astronauts were first getting ready to go to space, they did an experiment, and they essentially gave them glasses that, let's say, I'm going to symbolically turn them upside down, that made everything upside down. They gave the astronauts lenses so that everything was flipped upside down. And pretty much as a group, between the 21st and the 28th day of wearing these glasses that flipped everything upside down, the unconscious minds of the astronauts adjusted and reflipped everything so that when they looked through these glasses, they saw everything correctly, right? But are you willing to spend 28 days in that kind of discomfort? I mean, can you imagine walking around and everything is upside down? That's discomfort. Those astronauts were pulled out of their comfort zone. But because they wanted to be in the program, they wanted to make history, because they had enough of a why, they had enough of a passion behind what they were about, that they were willing to go through these trials and ordeals in order to be a part of the program. So really, that's kind of where my thinking is going right now with my Cowabunga programs, is like, I've been making them too easy. I've been making it too easy for my clients because I love them. You know, I just thought if I loved my clients enough and showed them the tools and demonstrated me using the tools and gave them examples of other people using the tools, they would somehow get in their mind that actually using the tools would get them the result. And I set everything up with all of these weight loss clients. I said, listen, I'm only looking for long-term clients. I'm only looking for long-term results. If you want a quick fix, if you want to drop 60 pounds in 60 days, I'm not necessarily the guy to go to, because I don't think that's really the way to go. I think a long-term shift, a long-term plan is going to serve you better. If you want a lifelong health program and fitness program that you'll continue to do into your 90s, then doing a crash, weight removal program is not necessarily going to work. Now, that being said, if you want to let go of, enormous amounts of fat fast, a medically supervised juice fast, and that's vegetable juices, people, not fruit juices, vegetable juices, freshly juiced vegetables, and, a good source of protein and a good source of healthy fats like coconut oil. A good source of protein might be whey powder, might be hemp powder, might be, protein powder made from peas if you're a vegetarian. You've got to give your body the tools to release that excess stored energy. But if we're talking weight loss, if we're talking sales success, if we're talking musical, artistic success, if we're talking whatever you are endeavoring to do, when you hit your resistance, when you hit that place where you want to quit, that's the place to apply the tools even more. That's the place to get up off the couch and move. That's the place to put something into action. And if you're all depressed and you're looking down, that's when you focus up. Change your physiology, change your thoughts, change your focus, roll your eyes, do EFT, write out a page of affirmations. Why does it work out better than I could possibly imagine? For me, it's like, if you are struggling, then that's perfect. And it's you taking the energy, taking the intention, taking the action that is going to transform your life. That is what Cowabunga is all about. It is not about expecting someone else to do it for you. So today, your assignment is to do something. Do something. Take any of the suggestions that I've been giving in these videos day after day after day. Take something and do it. Do it all day. Do it compulsively all day, and then do it tomorrow. And do it the next day. And do it the next day. Or watch one of these videos every single day. You know, download the audio and put it in your iPhone or your iPod, or, you know, get a CD of this stuff. You know, burn a CD from your computer and play it over and over again. Fill, flood, engulf your neurology with where you want to go, who you want to be. Where do I want to go today? Who do I want to be today? How can I own my own reality? How can I take responsibility for who I am right now? I own this. I've created this. That's great. Now I can create something better. People, there is no shortcut. There are tools that make it easier. There are tools that work better. For example, a regular affirmation, it works out better than I could possibly imagine. Triggers your BS meter. But a why question, that one shift, putting a why in front of that, gives you more leverage, engages your unconscious mind in a different way. Why does it work out better than I can possibly imagine? That's a tool, but it still only works if you use it. Do you hear me, people? What else do I have to do to get this through to you? Other than maybe this: I do love you. I care deeply about you. I see you as magnificent. In my mind, I see you living to your fullest, most joyful capacity. I can see that for you. When you can see it for yourself, and when you can hold that image on your mental movie screen every day, when you get that this is really all about loving and accepting yourself exactly where you are, noticing that everything is perfect, no one's doing anything to anyone, you are not a victim. No matter what your circumstance is, if you own it, and you may be in actuality a victim, but thinking like a victim is going to keep you a victim. When you step into, hey, you know what, I created this, I don't know how I created it, and I don't know why I created it, but by God, I'm going to create something better, and I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to just, every time I fall down, every time I don't get the result I want, feedback, not failure, get back up, dust myself off, get back in it, get back in it, change my thoughts, change my life, change your thoughts, change your life. I'm sorry I'm a little riled up this morning. But when people quit, when people give up, it pisses me off. Because usually you're quit when you're close. Read the book, Think and Grow Rich. There was a guy in the book who literally quit 3 feet from one of the largest gold discoveries in history. He quit 3 feet from the mother lode. He never did that again because he learned it. You have the ability to make a change, to transform your life now, today. Do it. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for your life to totally fall totally and completely apart? Are you waiting till you get some terminal disease to change your life? Are you waiting till you get fired and are unemployed and homeless and living on the street until you actually change your damn mind? No, do it today. Why does it work out better than you could possibly imagine? Go, write it. Write it down. Write it 20 times. Write it 100 times. And I dare you to write it 100 times. And then see how your day goes. All right? So that's it. I'm sorry. Sorry I got all fired up here. But damn it, quitters piss me off. Don't piss me off. Because I'm passionate about this stuff, and I walk my talk every day as best I can, and when I fail, I realize it's not failure. That's just a thought. I pick myself up, I dust myself off, and I find how that setback, how that, quote, failure was really feedback. And I use it to take myself to the next level. And this is no exception. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for listening. Thank you for getting these ideas, and thank you even more for being willing to try them out in your own life every single day. Cowabunga.com. Mark Shepard over and out. Talk to you tomorrow.